What a nightcap we have in store to provide the capstone of a great day of softball here in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. It's the Washington Huskies and the Nebraska Cornhuskers with one of the best pitching matchups that we will see all year long, and we get it on the very first day of softball right here on Flo. Happy to have you along for one final ride here today. Corey Brooks, Nicole Mendez, and our entire crew from Mexico. Nicole, we couldn't have asked for a better night game today. Two of the really, really interesting players coming into this year. Ruby Melon was outstanding as a freshman for the Washington Huskies. She looks to continue a breakout performance. And Jordy Ball might be the best softball player on planet Earth right now. She's going to make a brand new debut for her new Cornhusker squad here in this one.
Oh my gosh. As soon as I heard about this matchup, I got excited because I feel like over winter break, over summer, there was so much talk about what is it going to look like now that Jordy Ball's at Nebraska? What is this team going to look like? And we had a chance to talk with coach and we heard really, really good things. Jordy's looking great. A lot of players who had injuries are returning. They're going to be strong this year. So I'm really excited to put aside all the hypotheticals and get to see them in person. And Washington, small but mighty, I think is the way to describe this team. Not a lot of depth as far as number of players, but talent, talent, talent. Coach Tar was talking about how much these girls are going to get reps and they're going to get the practice in. And this preseason is designed to test them and to grow their confidence. So I'm excited to see these two teams battle it out tonight on the nightcap of the first day of college softball for 2024.
Washington fans will appreciate that you used the word mighty there. Mighty are the women indeed. Both of these two teams with
I thought it was a good
aspirations
little slip
to
in.
go to OKC. No doubt. No doubt. It's a player who's been around a little bit in Nicole Mendez. But yeah, I mean, we really could not have asked for a better game in this one. Our last game going long, so if you're just tuning in and going, oh, this game probably should have already started. It was supposed to about 20 minutes ago, but a really late run by Iowa State extended our third game of the day. But it only pushes this game even further into prime time. Be right about 7 o'clock Central Time, which is what we have in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, when we get this thing rolling. So the spotlight well-deserved for Nebraska and Washington. And look, you don't want to ever make too much of any one player making any one individual decision. But that said, I don't know if there are too many players changing teams that could have the immediate impact that Jordy Ball brought to that Nebraska team right there. And I don't even mean whatever she will do on the field, most likely exceptional, but just the surge in interest in Nebraska. And look, we already know Nebraska sports fans are a class of their own, but the reinvigoration that Jordy brought to this program, to this team, and even nationally to the sport, creating a humongous headline. You can't say enough about the impact that Jordy Ball will have not only on Nebraska, but on the entire sport this year.
Oh, absolutely. She's a player that moves the needle. She's a player who creates momentum wherever she goes. And she went back home. She went to Nebraska. She was committed there before she went to Oklahoma. That's home for her. And for her to be able to not just make an impact, but make make a name for her home field, her home state, for her family back there, that's going to be
Yep.
unbelievable. And I think that's part of the reason why you see such a turnout from Nebraska. They're ready to welcome back with open arms.
No doubt. And this is a Nebraska homecoming game in its way, because obviously you've got Jordy Ball returning to the Cornhusker State, but now she will face Ruby Melon, who grew up in Nebraska. The two of them were prep teammates. We're going to say it a lot tonight because it is unbelievably cool that that's the matchup that we have here in this very first game of the season for both teams. Two pitchers that know each other so well will go head to head. a lot of these Nebraska players know Ruby really well. They grew up together. They played together. You know this, Nicole. Softball can be a small world, even at the biggest of times. But right now, there are so many ties that bind both of these two teams.
Absolutely. Man, I'm just getting chills. You can see them too. A little bit of excitement, a lot of movement, a lot of nerves, a lot of deep breaths that are going on right now. And that crowd is wild. It's ready to go. These are two teams that are going to have a great showing tonight.
As we get set to honor our home country of Mexico with their national anthem. So in their red, the non-starters for the Cornhuskers, if you will line up along
About to
first base,
hear
So,
starting at first
mhm.
base,
the lineups for both teams, and
the non-starters, 00
you
to
can
catch
feel
for
the
the
energy
Cornhuskers,
rise as soon as the
number
announcer
2,
said,
Sarah
"Here come the
Yeah.
Harkness,
lineups."
We'll
number
let you
4,
listen in live here on
Olivia
Flow.
Thomas,
Some familiar names and some new ones in new
Abby
places
Squire,
for Nebraska and
number
Washington.
11, Talia Toki, 16, Lisa Colford, 18, Peyton Cody, 20, Abby Newland, 22, Caitlin Olinsky, number 26, Alina Felix, 32, Ashley Sweater, 33, Emerson Cope, 55, Dakota Carter, and number 77, Hayden Warner. Now the starting lineup for the designated visitors in red, the Cornhuskers of the University of Nebraska. Leading off and playing shortstop, number 6, Billy Andrews. Batting second and pitching tonight, number 98, Jordy Ball. Hitting third and playing third base, number 7, Sydney Gray. Your designated player hitting fourth, number 44, Caitlin Kenny. Batting fifth and playing center field, 27, Brooke Andrews. Hitting sixth and catching, number 24, Eva Bredwell. In the seventh spot, second base, number 66, Caitlin Pineda. In the eighth position, playing left field, number 19, Caitlin Neal. Batting ninth in right field, number 29, Samantha Bland. And playing first base today, number 3, Bella Bacon. Head coach Runner Ravel, assistants Lori Sipple, Diane Miller, and Olivia Farrell. And now the designated home team in their all whites, the Huskies of the University of Washington. The non-starters. 2, Sydney Peters. Number 9, Haley Winkler. Number 10, Piper Tedrow. 11, Olivia Johnson. Number 18, Lindsay Lopez. 33, Jane Gardner. 42, Giselle Alvarez. And now the starting lineup for Washington. Leading off in center field, 44, Brooklyn Carter. Batting second, playing second base, number 17, Jillian Seldies. Batting third tonight, playing shortstop, number 3, Riley Holtorf. In the fourth spot, catching number 24, Sydney Stewart. Batting fifth, playing third base, 20, Kinsey Fendler. In the sixth position, playing first base, 21, Alana Johnson. Batting seventh and playing first base, number 4, Brooke Nelson. Hitting eighth today, the designated player, number 8, Jaden Glab. And batting ninth, left fielder, number 5, Avery Hobson. Your starting pitcher today, 66, Ruby Maven. And coach, Heather Tarr, assistants, Lance Glasso, Victoria Hayward, and Courtney Gano. At this time, let's honor our host country. Please stand, and in honor of Mexico, please remove your hats for the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time. Let's play softball.
Yes.
Activities are in the books. The Mexican national anthem sung, and now it is time for softball between Nebraska and Washington. Happy to have you along for the ride, Corey Brooks, and member of the Mexican national team, Nicole Mendez, with you as we wrap up a really exciting first day of softball. First two games, Oklahoma did what Oklahoma does. A blowout win against UVU and a pitcher's duel that ended in favor of Kelly Maxwell and Carly Kinney in game number 2. Our third game of the day saw Iowa State break through early and break through late with a ton of runs. So we have seen the full spectrum here. Offense palooza and pitching and defense. Does this game wind up somewhere in the middle at one of the extremes? Tough to say. Early inclination, though, is pitcher's duel with both of these two. Numbers say they'll give you 1 run, maybe, on a good day. Let's see. As we introduce you to quite possibly the best freshman pitcher in America last year, Rumelon, getting it done in every single way for the Washington Huskies. The numbers go: a 2.14 ERA, a record of 18-7. She threw 180 innings, striking out 204 while walking just 52. And she was big in the clutch as well, notching a program record 7 saves for the Huskies. She was particularly effective early on in the year, giving up 0 earned runs in her first 6 appearances. Well, we're early on in the year right now as she does battle with Nebraska.
Ruby Malin, you're going to see her in the high 60s. A lot of up movement. One of the most deceptive rise balls. It has late break. Has an off speed that she can throw as well. But I am so excited to see her appear here in the 2024 season. She had confidence, but you could see, especially towards the end of the season, she was tired. She didn't know what a full season of college felt like. She has that underneath her belt now. There's more experience. There's even more confidence behind her as she starts off against a really good Nebraska team. Washington, they're ranked 5. Big time for them. It's all about setting the stage and who punches first.
Billy Andrews will lead things off here for the Cornhuskers. A new era for both of these two teams. And that era begins with the ball quickly dropped into the waiting glove of a rangy and impressive play. How about that to start things out?
Absolutely. And can I just point out, there was the first pitch swing, everybody cheers, and you're like, oh no, is it gonna drop? You felt the energy, you felt the emotion from so many people as Jordy Ball steps into the plate.
Julian Solis comes up with the highlight reel play, her very first ball put in play. And now Jordy Ball, speaking of newcomers, steps in. So much of the attention will be on her pitching, and deservedly so. But make no mistake about it, she is a very good hitter as well. And she will get that opportunity, and amply so, for this Nebraska team.
Last year at Oklahoma, Jordy started to get a couple at bats. You could see hit the ball hard. A lot of gappers, line drives. That's the kind of hitter she was last year. But who knows with the extra hitting, the extra time in the cages, what she's going to have for us in store for this game.
It's 2 different philosophies from 2 unbelievably good coaches. Ronna Ravel really wants her pitchers to hit, utilize that ability, that true duo in softball. Coach Gasso will generally have her pitchers mostly focus on pitching. Again, no right or wrong. Both have served very well. Jordy Ball right now in the ultimate hitters count, 3-1. The two former travel ball teammates. Advantage Jordy Ball. Her first walk as a Husker.
Now batting third base, number 7, Sydney Gray.
Malin, a little jittery during her at bat against Jordy Ball. Deep breath here. Quick settle in. Walk into her catcher.
Kid Gray, 1 out, 1 on, gets out of the way of the first. Caitlin Kinney hits behind her, then it's Brooke Andrews, Ava Breadwell, Caitlin Canada, Caitlin Neal, and Sam Bland, the opening 9 for the Nebraska Cornhusker. Pop throw down, ball is safe. That was a good throw, didn't matter.
Great throw. Did I mention Jordy Ball has speed there as well?
Oh yes, by the way, on top of being one of the best pitchers in the country, he's also an incredible athlete. And all of a sudden, it's a runner in scoring position for the Cornhuskers.
Whenever it comes to this Washington team, Heather Tarr was talking, mentioned it earlier, but they're short in numbers. I believe they only have 18 on their roster. That's not a lot in college, especially when you consider quite a few of them are pitchers.
Right. That's hit well, but straight at Holtorf. Ball did all she could that time. But Riley Holtorf with the heads-up play to get the lead runner.
Sometimes whenever there's speed on the bases, you get a little bit eager and you see the ball hit and you want to go for it. But Holtorf is arguably one of the best shortstops in the nation right now. And she has such a great glove. You have to keep a heads up because if you run, she's going to have the heads up to throw it to third and get that lead out.
Just like that, escape hatch wide open for Ruby. Defense behind her, outfield from left to right goes Hobson, Carter, and Johnson. Infield that same direction is Fiedler and Holtorf, who just combined on that fielder's choice. Solis, who had the great first out at second. Nelson over at first. Stewart and Malin is the battery. Ruby spins that one too far inside.
This is her third batter in a row where she goes down 2-0. Nibbling just a little bit too much these first few pitches around the plate. Want to see her attack and really nail a strike here.
Did not do that. Instead, Caitlin Kinney in the driver's seat, 3-0. That's not exactly your typical 3-0 pitch there. Had some movement on it. That's what Ruby can do. Right up a shoot. Holtorf sees it the entire way. Some really nice play by the Husky infield. Spells the end, and now they bring their back to bear in the bottom half.
University of Washington coming to bat.
It was one of the biggest stunners in collegiate athletics when Jordy Ball entered her name in the transfer portal, and she did so with one destination in mind. She was coming back home. She was going to play for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. This will be her debut in the circle. She can do a whole lot of everything. One of the most dynamic arms anywhere in the NCAA.
Can do almost anything, indeed. You get that low in the zone drop ball, you get the screwball that tumbles away from lefties into righties, and then she also goes up in the zone.
She can come with a change, she can come with the rise, drop, whatever. It's going to have so many different types of movement, a bunch of different velocities. She is difficult to figure out.
Center fielder number 44.
She's already got 2 national championships to her credit, and now she wants to bring one to Lincoln. Brooklyn Carter will lead things off for Washington.
Key for Jordy is to have late break with her pitches. Kind of has balls that stay on the outer half of the plate to lefties, inner half to righties. But if she can tunnel those pitches for as long as possible, that's where she's going to make her money.
It can be difficult to slap against the pitcher with movement. Doubly or even triply so here when facing Jordy Ball. Yeah, there's no way that you can be running away from that pitch, Nicole, and be able to slap it for a base hit.
Also helps whenever you have such a solid catcher behind the plate like Bredwell, working to frame those pitches, bring them back over the plate, and get them called for strikes.
Chopped up foul.
Said it last game, and I'll say it again. These batteries are so important to be able to work in tandem with one another, to know each other's next move, what they want, what they're anticipating. So important.
That one sent foul as well. Yeah, there's certainly appreciation for it. As our Washington fan site said, ode to the battery, as Ruby had that celebratory moment at the end of Super Regionals. She gets the final out, and there was appreciation for that pitcher-catcher tandem on the Washington side, and Nebraska certainly so as well. We've seen that huge surge of momentum for this program. Good battle here from the sophomore.
We saw a moment ago that infield was in tight. It's because Carter might be, honestly, one of the fastest people that I have ever seen. The amount of speed that she has on her is ridiculous. She looks like she's barely moving, and then boom, she's there.
Hasn't gotten a chance to use that speed just yet. This will be the 8th pitch from Ball to Carter.
And what a way to lead off the game. As a leadoff, your job is to let the other hitters see a lot of pitches, see what the movement looks like, see the speed, see where the strike zone is getting called.
That one sent away again. The 9th pitch from Ball to Carter. Like you said, this is, no matter what, a productive at-bat for Brooklyn Carter. Ball has her first Nebraska strikeout.
And Jordy is that type of pitcher. She's going to get a lot of Ks, especially on that pitch. It's that screwball that tails down and out. So hard to distinguish when it's a strike and when, like that one, it just continues to fall off out of the zone. Such a good pitch by Ball.
Carter kept swinging, kept protecting, and eventually Jordy came home with one that was absolutely unhittable. Dwayne Solis hits now for the Huskies. Riley Holtorf behind her. Sid Stewart, Kinsey Fiedler, Alana Johnson, Brooke Nelson, Jing Blab, and Avery Hobson. The opening 9 for Heather Tarr and Washington.
Firm swing there from Silas, but you could tell she was late. She could see her body physically moving backwards to create space for her hands. Jordy Ball throws in the upper 60s. It's tough whenever it's the first pitcher that you faced all year.
Yeah.
That kind of speed you can train off of a machine, but to see it live in person, it's difficult. And you have an arm like Ruby Malin who has that speed, but not quite the downward movement that Jordy Ball has. That's, again, hard to replicate.
I was going to say, both these teams are certainly excited to face somebody not on their own pitching staff just because of the dynamic ability that both squads sport in the circle. But even though both have really, really good pitchers, they are different, and that certainly poses a real challenge. That's the same pitch, more or less, that got Carter out. Felice does not follow it. That break is untouchable, and a 2-3 put out for insurance.
That off speed. Talked about tunneling, being able to hide those pitches on the same plane for as long as you can to fool those hitters. That off speed did such a good job. Looks exactly like that drop ball that she throws so well. Jordy now facing a righty.
Riley Holtorf, the final hope here in this first frame for Washington. She gets out of the way of it. Neal, Brooke, Andrews, and Bland, the outfield from left to right for Nebraska. Infield that same direction is Gray, Billy Andrews, Kaneda, and Bacon. Ball and Breadwell, the battery. Killer Bees in that battery connect for a strike. Riley Holtorf off a career year, really blossoming in that sophomore campaign. She says, what sophomore slump? And now brings a ton of momentum into 2024. She turned on that one a beat early.
You can see Holtorf doesn't look like she's struggling with the speed. I'd see Jordy go lower in the zone, maybe a little bit slower. Throw her off balance.
A lot of foul balls so far. That's about all that's come against Ball in this first frame.
But a lot of pitches. That's what those foul balls equate. That's good news for Washington.
Going to be about 20 when it's all said and done. If Holtorf reaches, obviously it could be even more.
Which would be a lot if Holtorf doesn't reach. Like you said, if she does, it could be even more. But just 3 batters and 20 pitches, that's a lot for a first inning.
Absolutely. especially in this first game, right, where every outing is going to be shorter. You're going to protect arms early on in the year. This is fantastic work by Washington. Not that Nebraska is short on pitching options by any means. This one is a little different. 2-2. Great hold by Holtorf. Full count.
Even then, I think that was an effective off-speed by Jordy. You could see the little knee buckle from Holtorf with that off-speed. It opens up a lot of options for Jordy for this next pitch.
Up top, Holtorf works the walk.
That plate discipline, so good from her. You could tell she had control of her barrel. That outside half of the plate wasn't really fooling her, didn't chase too much over there, but it's that arm side for Jordy Ball. That's her bread and butter.
Talk about the ode to the battery. Here's the other half of it. And Sydney Stewart, an on-base machine last year for Washington. She goes after the first pitch she sees. OBP 416 for Sid Stewart. Only that patience and discipline is one of the last things to come for a young player. Not so one bit for 2-4. Throw down, not in time. Holtorf in scoring position.
It's a great read from Holtorf. Jordy doesn't throw balls in the dirt like that too often, but as soon as it's down in the dirt, you can see Holtorf take off, puts herself in scoring position. A ball up the middle might score her.
Stung well over to right. Into foul territory. Just the piece. You stick that bat out there and hope sometimes. Worked out.
One thing you can see as Stewart gets into the box, as a righty, that's where a lot of those pitches go on the inside. She's backed off just a little bit to make space to be able to hit those pitches. In response, great job.
Continued. Yeah.
Great job by Jordy, noticing, okay, you want to get off the plate? I'm going to leak it a little bit farther, a little bit farther, a little bit farther. That one is probably in the river close to chalk, but because she's so off the plate, feels still like a strike.
That time it was way down.
Redwell working hard back there.
Yeah.
Love to see what she's doing.
High and tight. About 30 pitches in this inning for Jordy Ball. Washington understood the assignment. Payoff to Sid Stewart is inside. Back-to-back free passes.
That one just glazes off of her arm there. It's one way to draw a free base.
She's thinking, I would have just taken ball 4, but instead she goes to first. Does Sid Stewart. And Kinsey Fiedler all of a sudden has a real big chance with this 2-out rally fully
Next
cooking
up
now
for
for
the
Washington.
I think
Third base, number
umpires
20,
might actually be discussing whether she was hit by the pitch or not. Doesn't matter regardless because she'll stay at first, but
Right.
that might be the difference between Riley Holtorf being at second and her being at third. Oh. I think they're saying it tipped off of her bat.
Yep.
So they're actually going to bring her back to home plate, keep Fiedler at second.
Hit by pitch has been overruled.
And so Stewart will reapply all the equipment. It goes down, perhaps fittingly in this inning, as a foul ball. And she goes back to work. There is ball 4. Back-to-back 8-pitch walks for Washington.
Well, either way, equipment on, equipment off. She makes that jog down to first.
So back to where we were a second ago. Kinsey Fiedler with a huge chance. Oh, yeah. You know the coaches love that. Jordy goes outside. Fiedler works ahead. Everybody but Sid Stewart has gotten up 1-0. The Huskies dictating terms in this first inning.
I think as long as Jordy keeps that screwball tailing down, she's going to have a lot of success with it. Mix that in with the rise. That's going to be a hard play for Washington's lefties. They have quite a few in their lineup.
Not enough. Seen a good amount of that.
That is a pitch. Yeah, that's the pitch that you want to go after for Jordy if you're a lefty. Kind of stays east to west. You don't see that downward movement. Maybe it's not your favorite pitch, but it's going to be the easiest pitch for you to hit as a lefty off of her.
Fiedler stays alive. "35 pitches and counting. No balls put in play, by the by. 1-2 again from Ball, way up.
In my notes for this game for Washington, their keys to the game said they have to be strong defensively. They should have multi-hit innings. And they also have to make Jordy come to her instead of you going to her pitches. And I can say that's what they have been doing so well as she draws another 3-2 count.
3 straight fulls. This is perfect patience right now for Washington. Balls pay off again. Is there room in foul territory? There is. And so Jordy Ball will keep Washington scoreless in her first frame, but it'll cost her about 40 pitches to do it. Still, zeros on the board in our top 20 clash.
2 left on base. We move to the second inning with no score. With 4 decades of experience in producing only the best in the world of destination events, Triple Crown Sports wants to help you and your family get the most out of your investment in youth athletics. Whether it's giving young players a chance to compete against teams from around the country or giving older athletes.
Well, it feels like Ruby Malon may have
hone their
to
skills for
really
the
get
college
warmed
game.
up again. She had to sit for a while, and usually we say that after a big flurry of runs, but nope, not here. 0-0. She goes back to work in a tie game. See Brooke Andrews, Ava Breadwell, and Kate Kaneda. 5, 6, and 7 for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Two coaches who have been there and done that. They won't be surprised by what they just saw. They both preach that to their team. Be patient, grind out at bats. Heather Tarr in her 20th year at the helm of this Washington program. With about 32nd year head coach of the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Over 1,000 wins at her alma mater. Both these two coaches representing the school they graduated from.
Center fielder 27, Brooke Andrews.
Brooke Andrews steps in. We begin the second. They're also both the winningest coaches in each athletic department's history, men's or women's, which is saying a lot because these are two pretty successful sports programs throughout time.
That's such a fun stat. I love that. And for both of them to be female head coaches, it's incredible.
Yeah, it means a lot. Right up, right down. Brooke Nelson makes it look simple.
Yesterday was National Women's and Girls in Sports Day, and, you know, it just seems fitting to have that stat here.
Yeah. One of the things I love about the timing of this tournament is it will always come either on or like right after, like this, National Women's and Sports Day, and it just continues to grow women's sports in general in the best place they've ever been, and it's awesome.
And that's a rise ball that Ruby Malon throws so well. And you can see her a little fired up talking to Holtorf. That's her.
She is an emotional pitcher. UW fans got a great glimpse of that. The end of the Super Regionals.
So much passion behind the way that she plays. It makes people behind her want to play for her, go that much harder for her.
Well struck, but in foul territory. Redwell did give it a ride.
She was ready. If that had gone fair, that would have been a triple easily. That was a good piece. Just a little bit too foul. I think both teams seeing a little bit more speed than they're used to live. Just making that adjustment their first game this season.
Ava did have a couple of triples last year. Make no mistake about it. She can get moving down the base path, she'll get that exact chance. Ava Breadwell, the first hit.
Perfect placement there to get it past Riley Holtorf is no easy task. Hit hard enough to get there. And now Washington has to be mindful of the speed that is on the base path. Nebraska already has one stolen base.
Here's Kate Kaneda. Woo. Big hack to start it out. The Nebraska batting average leader a year ago. as a freshman. He was first team All Big Ten. He is down 0-2.
Down 0-2, but I love those hacks. That swing is beautiful. Barely missing. If she's able to make that tiny adjustment off of Malin, she's going to get a hold of something and send it.
That's what Coach Revelle told us. She said, hey, Kate's never afraid up there. She doesn't care that she's facing Ruby. Got her. 3 straight strikes. The first K of the day.
Tell you what, though, heading into the second inning, maybe it was the rest, maybe it was the momentum swing, but you can see Ruby Malin not afraid. Those nerves are long gone from her, and she's attacking the zone. She struggled a little bit last inning, trying to find the zone, would get behind 0-2 or 2-0. Not this inning.
She just misses there to Caitlin Neal. 2 strikeouts for Jordy Ball. Malin picks up her first. And the former teammates continue to take center stage in our PV nightcap here. Slow roll, Holtorf on it to close the frame. Well, the best part, or I should say at least one, that first day, you're getting everybody's best. I didn't show it in the circle right now. So far, so good for both pitchers. We'll see if Washington is able to do what they did in that first inning and really stretch the arm of Jordy Ball. It'll be Alana Johnson, Brooke Nelson, Peyton Glab scheduled to hit here for UW. It's an interesting mix because you know Jordy can throw a ton of pitches. But Coach Revelle asked her to do so here in this very first game, understanding it's a huge matchup and a tremendous opportunity for Nebraska to make a statement. And look, Cornhusker fans want to see as much of their new pitcher as possible. But it is definitely a bouncing act.
Second inning for the Huskies. First base, 21, Alana Johnson.
Alana Johnson watching ball 1. Wearing her new number for the Washington Huskies. She was number 1 last year, now taking 21 after the graduation of Silent Rain Espinoza.
Great pitch there. Notice Johnson also stepping off the plate just a little bit. And you're seeing Jordy with that drop ball instead of the screw. Just falls off the table.
That one starts a bit too low. And Alana Johnson in control. You never know if the cheer is for Jordy Ball or noting that she just threw a ball. Could be either one. That one's up top.
Who's doing the play on words now?
Oh, listen, wordplay is the finest of art forms. I'm with you there. Great hitters count for Alana Johnson. Less so now.
Bounce back there by Jordy.
Her payoff comes inside and gets Johnson. The third free pass issued by Jordy Ball.
Some might argue the second hit by pitch.
Right.
I think with Washington stepping off the plate a little bit, Jordy's trying to toy around and figured she's been doing a great job, but she's been having to figure out how to work that zone.
Look at the speed from Alana Johnson. Bunt shown, not needed. Huskies go right back to scoring position. And that one skips away from Bradwell. Basically 2 bases for the price of 1. Brooke Nelson, a real chance with even a sac fly now to begin the offense tonight.
A little bit confusion over the count. Should be 2-0. See Coach coming out talking to Jordy a little bit. She's up there in the pitch count. She's thrown a lot of pitches, nibbled around the zone, getting used to where these batters are standing in the box. I think whenever the righties are up and how far off the box they are, doesn't have to be the best moving pitch, but if Jordy peppers in some pitches on that outside half of the plate to righties, I think she's going to start seeing more success on the inside half. As it is, the last time I saw a pitch on that outer half to a righty, it was maybe 30 pitches ago.
Yeah.
So it makes it a lot easier as a hitter. Yeah. Makes it easier to decide, I'm staying on that inside half.
Usually saying 30 pitches ago in the bottom of the second. It's been that type of day. Now it's 3-0. Ball basically even in strikes to balls thrown. For a player that normally dominates the zone, this is uncharacteristic. A 4th free pass through 1+.
Now batting, designated player number 8, Jaden Glab.
Freshman makes her UW debut against Ball. It's Jaden Glab, a top 10 player and the first ever Husky from Iowa under Coach Tarr. And just affording the base to Nelson. 2 in prime position.
And right now, you can hear, you can feel the energy from Washington.
Earlier today, in her first collegiate at bat, Cassidy Pickering had a grand slam. That's not necessarily on the table, but if Glab is able to get an RBI or 2 in her first crack, Washington will be more than happy. That is hit well. Kaneda couldn't quite hold on. Johnson comes across. The lead belongs to UW.
Well, speak it into existence. There is that RBI manufactured by the freshman, Glab. I bet she'll remember that first RBI. All smiles in the Washington dugout. It's clear they had a plan, and they've been sticking to it, and it's working.
Now batting for the Huskies. Left fielder
Jordy Ball
number
is
5,
not only one of the best
Sue.
athletes, but one of the smartest pitchers out there. Her movement, her speed, her understanding of the game, it's unreal. So right now, as this Nebraska defense is huddled in, they're talking and they're resetting. I really am excited to see what these adjustments that Jordy Ball's she's going to make in the box, especially as this lineup turns around and she's going to be facing a lot of lefties, which is her strength.
Including Avery Hobson, who attacks the first pitch he sees. Difficult to reset with another run 60 away. That's Brooke Nelson right there. Keeping an eye on Glab. Coach Tar hasn't been afraid to send him. Glab's already got her first hit, first RBI. Chopped up. Andrews comes home with it. Correct decision.
Great heads-up play there by Andrews. She knows how aggressive Washington likes to be on the base pass. Charges that hard, no hesitation at all. Didn't even think about first. She knew where she was going. And a great tag behind the plate by Breadwell.
Brooklyn Carter.
Brooklyn Carter gets her second AB of the day in the second. Still a good chance with 2 on and only 1 down. The riser there for Jordy Ball. There's that bounce back for Ball. Quickly 0-2.
Sometimes all you need is a play to be made. Ball sees her defense do that, understands, yeah, I don't need to do everything. My defense can get me out of jams just as much as I can get them.
Wow. She can do a little herself too. 3rd K today for Jordy Ball.
That one went coast to coast, starts on the inside half, leads on over. That tail away from lefties is so hard.
Release the big hack.
Second base, Jillian Solis.
And you can definitely see how much more comfortable Ball feels against these lefties. She's starting to strut a little bit more, got a little bit more swag to her walk to the back of the circle.
Scalise holding her own. Struck out the first time against Ball. Scalise hits it hard straight to Andrews, who steps on second to close the door. Still, 1 run thanks to the freshman Jaden Glab puts Washington up on the scoreboard.
Cornhuskers nothing. Never miss a game with FloSoftball. You can watch tonight's event live along with all other FloSoftball events for the rest of the season. Visit FloSoftball.tv for more information and to sign up for your subscription today. That's FloSoftball.tv.
(9-1-2) for Nebraska as Ruben Malin gets to go to work with a lead for the first time here in 2024.
Both of the pitchers towards the end of those last innings looked like they finally found their groove. You could see the confidence come back. You could see the strikes start to pound the zone. For Malin, it's staying consistent, staying level, not letting her emotions take her out of where she is. For Jordy, it's making that adjustment to the righties.
Be back and ready to go. She has ended these ABs pretty quickly one way or another. Set the tone. Great to Billy Andrews, and since then, it's routinely 2 or 3 pitches per batter. One of the stark contrasts between our two pitchers so far. Sam Bland, first pitch swinging, and straight to Brooke Nelson.
Straight to Brooke Nelson, but a hard hit by Nebraska. That's the kind of response that you want when Washington goes up 1-0.
Defense continues to be really good in this game. Nebraska flips it and brings in Billy Andrews. One came right for our cameras here.
Cameraman. Well. Yeah. Hope he's doing all right. Crowd was quite vocal on that one.
Billy Andrews, this is her 160th straight start. Did miss fall rehabbing through injury, but when it comes time for the games that count, she has found a way to be there for her team every single time. Pretty impressive.
That speaks volumes to your character, but to who you are as a person. But the game always knows, the game always pays you back. Not sure what that conversation, decision made by the umpire, couldn't see from our camera view, but looks like the umpires are explaining it right now to coach.
So my best guess is time?
Yes, I think you caught the same thing. I heard 10 seconds or more. I think it was a time clock violation. So a lot of people think of this from a pitcher's perspective. You got to be in and out in 10 seconds. Same thing for the batter. If you're not ready to go, that's on you.
Yeah.
Batter is called
and
out.
the main
Washington,
clock
they'll take a quick
shortened this year.
Yeah, they'll take a quick, easy out.
Yeah, absolutely. 25-20 in there. Andrews not in the box in time. So it goes down as strike 3, and Jordy Ball comes up with 2 down.
I have to say, I do appreciate the umpires enforcing this time clock. It was introduced last year, and I feel like we saw it sometimes, and sometimes they wouldn't call it. If it's going to be a rule, I feel like it should be consistent and difficult. If sometimes it's called, sometimes it's not. You don't know whether you're allowed 10 seconds or, hey, I could get away with 5 extra more.
Yep. I think a couple of the rule changes were for the better in terms of consistency. The other thing we're going to see is pitchers taking flight a little bit more this year. It was so back and forth, an illegal pitch versus not, just because our pitchers today have so much movement. Eventually, the NCAA said, all right, you can go ahead and just lift that plant leg. You can't put it back down, but you can bring it up. And so that kind of takes a lot of that back and forth, illegal pitch, one game yes, one game no, off the table. Jordy Ball, ow.
That one right in the meat part of the thigh. Kind of stuck a little bit. Ruby Mayland does not throw soft. You know that's got to hurt. But hey, a runner on base, take it.
That's up Sid Gray, and she works the head as well. Ruby has conceded 1 base runner in each inning, but that has been it. Right up the chute. Releases ball.
Top of the 3rd inning for Nebraska.
And so, Ruby does the thing again. He continues to keep this offense at bay. Their squad leads at 1-0.
It's the University of Washington 1, Nebraska 0.
Back we come in a game that has featured all the things that are new here in the sport of softball. We've seen a clock violation. We're seeing Jordy Ball in a Nebraska uniform. Everything you could ask for in our nightcap. Riley Holtorf, who's been super involved defensively, also has a walk to her credit. She'll be looking for something akin to the ladder here. Her second plate appearance today.
She's the one that really set off that inning in the first for Washington.
Caught the zone there as well. A lot of motion there from Ball.
I think that one, again, is Breadwell. She is working so hard behind that plate. Her body angles, that frame was so strong, so firm. She's getting that call for Jordy.
Giving a ride, Neal watches it exit Nancy Amara Stadium. Well, and it goes 5, stick Cole. Riley Holtorf on base for the second time.
She looks so good at the plate. The confidence, the calmness. Down 0-2. Didn't feel like her swing was rushed. Didn't feel like it was passive. It is what it is, no matter the count.
Sydney Stewart, first pitch swinging. What do you make of those new rule changes, Nicole? We were just talking about them. Shortening the pitch clock, allowing both feet to be in the air at the same time. And the other thing we didn't even talk about yet, those new pitch devices, the one-way communications that almost look like a watch.
So many thoughts.
I'm sure.
I would say I really like the pitch clock. I think it speeds up the game. It holds players accountable. You don't get an advantage if a pitcher takes forever to get on. Don't get an advantage if a hitter is purposely staying out of the box. Kind of evens the playing field a little bit. And then as far as the signals on the watch, I think baseball's done it for years. I don't know what the problem would be with that.
Right.
Gets rid of picking.
Yep.
Which in and of itself is an art form.
Right. That's exactly what I was about to say. I'd say the old school counter to that is, sign stealing is part of the game. If you're giving it away, you're making a mistake. But I don't know. I go back and forth on it myself too.
Yeah, I love the art of picking the pitch.
Go down to second. Just the beat behind. Holtorf in scoring
speed.
position. Yeah.
Second time getting there to second.
Didn't steal a ton last year, 6 of 9. She's taken second twice in this one. And now she will just go ahead and pad her stats. Would have had it one pitch later. Sid Stewart works the walk.
And again, with the righties, see Jordy struggle to find those right spots that she really wants to get for those swings and misses. Last thing I'll say about the new rules is, I don't know, I might be old school, but crow hop is a crow hop. You definitely throw harder. Yeah. I think for me, the biggest thing is safety.
Sure.
There's a lot of young girls who normally wouldn't throw with a crow hop, who are, just because it's allowed or just because you see some other pitchers do it. It's hard to see 10-year-olds kind of battering their knee like that.
Gray got the throw down. Did so just in time. Easier said than done with the speedy Kinsey Fiedler, but still she did the job. 2 in prime position.
Great sack there. I'm going to bring into play one more topic that has been kind of controversial the last few years, and that's the safety bag. On that play there, it was a great bunt. It was a great throw. It was a great run down first. But Bacon, the first baseman, she was standing in the way until the very last minute. If the runner doesn't slow down, she gets hit. That's a collision. I've seen plenty of injuries at first.
Yeah.
There's no shame in having a safety bag to run through. After that, it's dead.
Yeah.
So I'm wanting to see that change being made, maybe next year in college softball. Jordy
Already
Ball
seeing
up
real
in the
movement for it.
zone.
Allowed to do it, and I think by next year, I'm with you, that's going to be almost universal. That one, to me, kind of feels like a no-brainer. That one's high and away. It got by Breadwell. Washington doubles the lead as Holtorf scores.
Jordy down.
Yeah.
Not getting up. We saw it last game. On that mound, whenever you throw, there's a lot of clay underneath and it gets really sticky. A couple times, pitchers would stop mid-pitch or they would trip. Whenever that cleats gets stuck in that clay, it makes it difficult. And it looks like whenever she was throwing, she kind of got her foot stuck in that clay.
You absolutely hate to see this. Well, pitching change for Nebraska. We certainly wish the best for Jordy Ball. Step aside briefly here on Flo. Well, certainly not what Nebraska was hoping for. A short outing for Jordy Ball due to injury. And so she will head back to the dugout and be relieved by Caitlin Olinsky, the freshman coming in for Nebraska. The first lefty that Coach Ravel's had in a while. And she will try and stem the tide here. The other change will be the entrance of Cope.
Defensive
Come in and play
change.
first base.
Now pitching 22, Caitlin Olinsky. Now playing
Which
first
had
base,
nothing to
33.
say but good
Emerson
things
Cope.
about this freshman lefty. See a lot of curveball, rise ball out of her.
First pitch hit well and deposited in left. Stewart scores, and Alana Johnson has the Huskies cooking.
But the thing you have to learn, and a tough lesson it is
Now
as a
batting
freshman,
first base, number 4, Brooke Nilsson.
might have a great curveball, but if you leave it over the plate, it's going to get hit hard, especially with a team like Washington who can cover the middle half of the plate so well.
But Nelson, first pitch swinging, and it gets by Gray. UW leader put just enough on it. Washington churning now. Only out in this inning was the sack.
Designated player, number 8.
One just bounces over Gray's glove. And you can kind of feel Nebraska just a little deflated.
That last one officially scored an error. That one is to the backstop, and it sends Johnson to third.
I think a timeout right now, just talking exactly this. Talk with your team.
Yep.
Jordy got hurt. First pitch, there was a line drive deep in the gap. Third time, there was a ball that bounced over third base. Then a pass ball. It kind of felt like things were starting to snowball. Just to get together as a team, reset, refocus. Still softball, it's still your game. It's only 3-0.
Freshman v. freshman. Advantage Glab. Has the momentum after the RBI single, and the count's in her favor as well. Glab elevating. It's going. Oklahoma will just turn around and watch it clock. First collegiate home run for Caden Glab.
Well, you called it, just not the right at-bat. Gleb's first at-bat, RBI, second at-bat. That's where the home run power came in. You talked about her being one of the top 10 picks in the nation as a freshman. That swing right there shows you why.
Earlier today when OU. Yep.
Third one, 3 in one day. 3 different teams. That's the way to get it started. Love to see the power off the bat.
And just like that, it's a 4 RBI day for Glab. Sarah Harness is going to come in and pitch. Just a wild turn of events. Cassidy Pickering began her career with a home run, her first collegiate at bat. And now Glab in her second launches it beyond center field. And this has completely turned. You can almost understand it from a Nebraska standpoint. Jordy means so much to this team and this program and the sport. And to see her get hurt, definitely deflating. But you can only play the opponent in front of you. And Washington saw the freshman Olinsky very, very well.
Now batting for Washington, left fielder number 5, Avery Hobson.
So here's Avery Hobson. Right into the fielder's choice, her first time up in the second. In for strike one. That one catches the nub of the bat. Sarah Harness, the senior here for Nebraska. Work up a lot. Has some break. Transfer from SIU a couple years ago. He was all MVC before coming to Lincoln, and she's been outstanding here. An ERA of 3.40, record of 10-5 last year. Her 115 and a third innings pitched. She struck out 104 while walking 73. That one ripped back as well.
This Washington dugout has not given Nebraska a moment of peace since this game has started. Hard to believe we're only in the third. I feel like this has gone on for a while now. But that energy is just relentless.
Harness just inside there. Chopped up to Andrews. Route number 2.
Now batting for Washington, center fielder, 44, Brooklyn Carter.
Lineup flips for the second time. Carter lays down the great bunt, barehanded throw, successful from Gray. Great play over at the hot corner, but Gaden Glab, the headliner now, a 3-run home run as part of a 5-run frame that's got Washington up by 6.
College sports evaluation is on the cutting edge. Sports analytics, founded in 2020 by the owner of Triple Crown Sports, Dave King, CSE, provides youth and collegiate athletes with verified sensor data, trusted by and tested. With over 200 college programs, CSE's team of dedicated mathematicians provide the only valid data outlet available to accurately evaluate players as they compare themselves to the collegiate levels. Visit CSE Tech today to learn more.
And now for Ruby Malin. He never put a game in cruise control, especially against a good team like Nebraska, but he's got all the wind at her back right now. Her team up 6. Silver lining for the Huskers. They do bring the heart of their order up in 4, 5, 6. Kitty Andrews and Bredwell.
Like you said, it definitely feels like the wind has gone out of Nebraska's sails and flown right into Washington's. A healthy 6-1 lead here heading into the 4th. You see this battery right here communicating with one another. Behind the plate, Stewart kind of telling Malin, tunnel vision right here, just you and me.
First pitch, wow. How about Brooke Nelson over at first?
What a snag there. Nice little backhand, short hop. That one was absolutely crushed. That was a hard hit ball. Nebraska's had a few of those. Haven't been able to find too many gaps, so. But a hit here could be what they need to get this train back on track.
That's the third 1 pitch out for Ruby Malin in this game. Another few 2 pitch outs. She has been ruthless from the circle, and especially early on in these counts.
Malin wanting that pitch. Good idea by Brooke Andrews. Staying disciplined at this plate.
Andrews off a career year. You can look at the numbers. She's gotten better and better each year. Highlight for Brooke last year, slugging .575. Power, speed, threat right now. She's just trying to get on. On a hop, Fiedler across the diamond for the second.
Malin definitely in a groove right now. Those last two pitches, rise ball up and in on the hands. Other pitch, low and away. Easy ground ball to your third baseman. She is feeling all four parts of this strike zone.
Redwell stepping out, taking her time. What little there is, as we've already seen the time violation today. Anything to try and get Ruby out of the rhythm. Quite. Seattle's making its presence felt. You can hear it.
That was a good pitch, and I'm sure all the pitchers out there are screaming, that was a strike. I think that was a good look.
So I assume you, as a great hitter, were saying, nope, ball all the way?
Not necessarily ball all the way, but more so, I don't have two strikes. That's a pitcher's pitch in a great spot. If I'm not 100% looking for that pitch on time, I probably won't get the greatest hit off of that pitch. So laying off of that, even though it was a really good pitch, works in my favor.
Be a payoff here for Ruby Malin. Hard off the bat of Bredwell.
And that's exactly why I wouldn't swing at that pitch, because then you get something a little bit more manageable, a little bit more over the plate. Still a great pitch, but not as tight on that corner. Drive it right back up the middle, and you're standing on first.
Number 66, Caitlin Caneda.
Brings Kate Caneda to bear with two down. Lincoln South right now. Nebraska fans still very much in this, but Ruby's making it hard to root. Elise closes the frame. Ruby Malin, 4 innings of 2-hit softball here for the Washington Huskies. Her squad up 6. Sarah Harness begins her first full inning of work here for Nebraska. Just trying to keep things at 6. The Huskies pretty clearly playing their best softball of this first game. 5 runs on 3 hits in the third. Riley Holtorf, she'll step into the on-deck circle. She's been great today, reaching base twice. Felice comes up.
Now batting second base, Jillian Solis.
Solis, the big hack there. One of the great things about this tournament, in addition to the elite field that we've seen all day, kind of the opportunity as well to be a part of this community. That's what Nebraska did this morning, hosting a clinic right here in Puerto Vallarta, getting to know some of the fans around Nancy Almaraz Stadium. Heather Tarr, who's been here a few times, even has some friends she's made right here in PV.
Went to the local birria shop during the interview. Made us all jealous.
No doubt.
No gift for a good taco right now.
Yeah, no kidding. Get some good ones, but you get to Jalisco, it's home cooking, and it's very, very different. That's in tight.
No, but you're right. This tournament is so special. Started back, I want to say in 17, my freshman year, first time we went out there.
Lofted into left and rangy from Neal.
What a great track on that ball. Left field's Neal. Sitting pretty shallow left field, middle of the field. That was back deep warning track area by the foul line. To be able to track that, know the fence is coming up, and still make that snag. So impressive. Great beat on that.
Riley Holtorf watching ball one. Yeah, first time in a little while we've seen OU here in this tournament, taking what was already a really good field into the best anywhere in America.
See Harness calling a timeout. I'm still thinking about that catch. Harness calling the timeout. Coming and talking with their catcher, getting on the same page, getting in sync. That pitch a little crazy. Just making sure they're on the same page before they move forward. Holtorf has been the spark plug to get things started. Maybe hasn't had the biggest hits, but she's been the one to get things started for this Washington team pretty much every time that she's been up to bat.
And he will keep doing it. On base all 3 times. Riley Holtorf jogs out 60.
Now batting the catcher, 24.
She's been fun to watch as a player, to develop, to become into her own. She was always a great shortstop.
Yeah.
But it took a beat for it to become her own. And I feel like this year, I'm starting to see her really own her spot in the box. You're starting to see more confidence with her swing, more power behind her swing.
A lot of pressure in that spot in Husky lore. We're talking about Sis Bates, who's on the staff, Ali Aguilar. But Holtorf's really embraced that. She grew up watching those two, knew what it meant to be at the 6th spot for UW, and really excelled in the tournament last year. We got some great advice from the original advice givers for us all. It was her mom. She said, hey, just be different. Well, Holtorf, certainly that here in both the tournament and in 2024.
Big swing there from Stewart. Maybe wanting to crank it down a little bit for a 3-0 swing.
Sydney Stewart instead trying to crank it up, but rocketed it foul.
And I've liked what I've seen from Stewart behind the plate. It's been pretty solid for Malin. Been able to get her back on track quickly. And she just has a presence behind the plate, but I mean, she steps in and she has a presence in the box. See how tall she is? You have to respect that strength. You have to respect that power.
Both these catchers getting a ton of experience as freshmen. And both playing really well. Bedwell won Freshman of the Year. We didn't really see that from a newcomer. Sydney Stewart, really, really good as well. Pretty remarkable. I feel like that was one of those positions that was upperclassmen only for a long time. Defense premium. And now just the level of athlete in our sport has grown so much that newcomers step in and look like seniors more often than not.
I agree, and I think it's also just the way our sport has changed. It's kind of evolved from I'm older, I get dibs, to whoever's best, you got it.
The seniority does not mean nearly as much as it used to. Especially in the Puerto era. If you've got a really talented player who is not getting a playing time segment that they deserve, well, you might not have that player for too long. Sydney Stewart has 3 walks today.
Second one in a row here for Harness. One out, runner in scoring position. Again, the all too familiar tune for Washington. So far this game, they have done such a good job of drawing walks, making those pitchers throw strikes. And if they're not going to chase after them. I think discipline at the plate.
Representing the game-shortening run. Yeah, discipline was certainly the story early on, right? I mean, it was about 30 pitches in that first inning against Ball. That continued until, unfortunately, Jordy went out with injury. But, yeah, this Washington patience is the early headline in this first game. Slow roll, the collision down the line.
Kind of curious, they called her out, but the rule is if a fielder is going for a ball, going to make an effort to field that ball. No, I think that was the right call. If the fielder is making an effort to field that ball and the base runner collides with her, gets in her way, that base runner is out. And I don't know if she would have made the play, but it was definitely close enough that if she hadn't collided, it would have been hit or miss. And so I think that's the right thing. But as a base runner from Washington, that's a little surprising, especially from Holtorf, seasoned on the base path, knows what a shortstop is trying to do as well. That is her position. Surprised there wasn't a little bit more effort to get out of the way as she was running.
Me too, especially because I don't think that play was getting made. That ball was in a funky spot relative to the positioning.
I think it was hit too hard, yeah.
Johnson's already got an RBI today.
No time like the present to add to that.
And he does give it a ride to left all the way to the fence. Stewart scores, Fiedler crosses. Alana Johnson, a 3 RBI day. The Washington Huskies have shortened this game. What a showing. A full-on party on Montlake now. This UW team looks outstanding.
They came to play. Harness leaves that one elevated just a little bit on the plate. Had to get on there just a little bit. She was behind 3-0 in the count. Walked the two batters before, gave up a ground ball. So being able to get those strikes early for her is important. That one just right in that sweet spot, elevated right above the waist. Absolutely crushed.
Perfect 2-for-2 day for her, 3 RBI. She got plunked as well, so a hard-earned day for Alana Johnson.
Now batting for Washington, number 4, first base, Brooke
Nelson. To keep this 2-out rally, which consists of 1 at bat, going. Nelson over the head of Andrews. First and third.
I think if you're Nebraska, getting ahead early in the count, getting good strikes over the plate. Right now, it's minimizing the bleeding. Get out of this inning any way you can. Washington up 8-0 in the bottom of the 4th.
Offensive change for the Huskies. Now running at first base, number 33.
Nelson will step aside.
Gardner.
Gardner will come in. This is her Washington debut. She does so as the pinch runner at first base. Local product out of West Seattle. Gets away. Jaden Glab looking to put the finishing touch on an unbelievable debut.
I mean, wouldn't that just be the cherry on top of the cake right there? Sundae cake? Not sure how that's
whatever right now. Some type of dessert. Whatever it is incredibly sweet right now. Jaden Glab. She's got the ultimate hitter's count. She will work the walk. Jaden Glab on base all 3 times, 2 hits, and 4 RBI. Welcome to UW.
It's so sweet to see freshmen play because they just go out there and they're having fun and they're competing and they're just owning it.
Now for the Huskies.
There's no
here
expectation.
Is a familiar name.
Yeah.
Folks who were with us the last time Washington was here. Olivia Johnson began her career. Her first 2 plate appearances, speaking of freshmen getting out there and playing loose, having fun, she was 2 for 2 with 2 bombs. And so here is Ojo. Watching ball 1. Heather Tarr telling us, hey, this could be one of the best softball players in the world. Just a matter of continuing to develop, finding that role, that consistency. But we have already seen the high, and it was right here in Puerto Vallarta.
Harness struggling to find the zone, calls time, talks to her catcher. Kind of looked like they were strategizing. I want to throw this pitch and this one next. Kind of the setup of how they want to get Johnson out. But no wiggle room right now. Washington, bases loaded, 2 outs. And a 3-0 count.
And this is the universal red light, even for an incredibly talented player. Now Ojo thought she had the RBI. Instead 3-1. Chopped up. Andrews takes the short play to close the frame, but still, UW scores 2 more on 2 hits. Nebraska now needs a run to extend the game as we go to the 5th.
And officially human behind the stripes. Our mission is to elevate the respect of sport officials in every sport, in every contest, and in every venue, at all levels of competition. Officially Human wishes to recognize and thank our umpiring crew for tonight's ball game. We appreciate the good sportsmanship shown towards our game officials by all fans in attendance. Learn more about Officially Human at officiallyhuman.com.
Huskers will go 8-9-1 here as Ruby Malin will attempt to begin her 24 slate with a complete game shutout. This is just what we expect from her early on in a year. We mentioned it earlier, but her first 6 appearances last year, 0 earned runs. She has hardly been threatened in this game tonight.
I think it's a great way to open up your season and know, man, my team has my back. I think Washington had the talent. They were good last year, but what they lacked was consistency and producing offensive runs. I think that was their shortcoming last year. And yes, they were talented and they had it, but there was too many holes in their lineup. Based on this game tonight, not only do they not have a lot of holes, they have a lot more power this year than they did last.
Losing 7 to graduation, including their top 4 hitters. But offense has not been an issue today. With the important context of a pitcher injury, Washington has been on fire despite that. Caitlin Neal sends that one into foul territory. Huskies have won 4 in a row against the Cornhuskers. He's certainly on the doorstep of 5 now. Ruby Malin picks up her 3rd K today, and Omaha's own is 2 outs away.
Malin, dirty with that low rise. It starts at the belt line, ends at the letters. It's a tough pitch.
Beg your pardon, that was the 2nd strike, so it's 2-2.
It was pretty enough that it made you think it was 3.
No doubt. By the way, it is 2 re-entries for Washington. Hobson back to left for Olivia Johnson. Nelson back to first for Gardner. That wasn't too bad
Neal,
either, but the count runs full.
She has tightened up her swinging zone, and she is battling this at bat. Nebraska down to their last 3 outs to get a run.
There is strikeout number 3 today for Omaha's own Ruby Malin.
Now batting right fielder 29, Samantha Bland.
Goes right back to work low and inside. I think one of the things that Heather Tarr has done as well as anybody in the sport of softball is really creating that family. Obviously, she knows what it takes to succeed at the University of Washington, but bringing Victoria Hayward in as the hitting coach, taking her from SDSU, that brings Celise as well as Fiedler secures the 2nd out, keeping Sis Bates in a role with this program. Even for Ruby Malin, her mentor, Danielle Laurie. That's about as good as it gets for a, hey, how do you succeed at this level and specifically at Washington? So the alumni of the Huskies all connected, and you're seeing the payoff today for UW.
Yeah, that network, that family that they have together, so strong. Makes you want to buy in, makes you want to be a part of it.
Billy Andrews, the potential last gasp here for the Huskers. Ruby had 15 complete games in her freshman year. She might be 1 for 1 right now. Malin. See it lifted up.
Washington here looking to run rule in their very first game of the season against Nebraska. What was a highly touted game. Everybody thinking it was going to be a little bit closer in score, and Washington came out with the bats and said, nope, we're running this one right here.
First and foremost, the concern will be about Jordy Ball. Right behind that, the announcement, to your point, this Washington team, despite the losses, is here to play in 2024. Chopped up. Continues until it comes to an end right up against the fence. Stewart does the job. It's a complete game shutout for Ruby Malin, and the Washington Huskies begin year number 20 under Heather Carr with a victory against the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Our final line score.
A phenomenal showing
game
for UW.
Oh, man. I don't know about you, but I enjoyed seeing this Washington. This Washington, if they continue to play like this is a 2019 style of play Washington. This is that national championship team Washington. I know it's crazy early, lots of season, lots of development, but they had it all tonight.
That's where the offense got rolling. Washington picked up 1 run in the second. Brooke Nelson came around to score, and then in the third, the onslaught began. There's the one that forced Jordy Ball out of the game. UW would eventually score 5 runs on 3 hits, and they come away with a quality victory in 5 innings. Pick up their first win of this Puerto Vallarta College Challenge. Still plenty more softball to come. We've got 5 games coming your way, starting with Duke and Iowa State at 10 a.m. Central Time. We certainly hope you'll join us then. For Nicole Mendez and our entire crew in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, I'm Corey Brooks. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. It's Duke and the Cyclones coming your way. See you then.